What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Utah State Veer and Shoot playbook in College Football 25. This is another request from someone in the comments section. I got a nice long list of videos that I am working on, and if you like the Veer and Shoot, this is definitely a playbook for you, but it's got a little mix of some traditional shotgun stuff as well, especially from a formation standpoint. So it's not pure Veer and Shoot like you would get from the generic playbook or like the Tennessee Veer and Shoot. But if you like a nice mix of Veer and Shoot wide formations with basic gun sets, then I think you'll really enjoy this playbook. So we're going to go through the formations and concepts and play types of personnel. And hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So again, this is the Veer and Shoot offense, but with some other things mixed in. But when you start looking at the formations, all you have is shotgun. So if that's kind of your thing, great. If you need a little mix of under center, pistol, or just something beyond shotgun, do not use this playbook. As you can tell, it is strictly shotgun, so that is where we're going to spend all of our time. Starting off, doubles Y off. It is an 11 personnel set, and it's a basic 2x2 look with 18 plays. We got double Z close, and then we have our first wide doubles weak, our first Veer and Shoot formation in the playbook. That's also 11 personnel. Then we got tight slots halfback weak, trips tight end offset, wide slot left weak, wide slot right, the weak version of it. Then we get into tight open, and then we get into wide. This is our first 10 personnel formation. So we got a lot of 11 personnel, more than what you'll ever need. Then we get into our first 10 personnel formation. That is wide, 2x2, 21 plays there. Then we get into wide offset. Now you're going back to 11 personnel. So your tight end, number 87 in this case, is your number one tight end. That's why it's 11 personnel. Then we got wide stack. That goes back to another 4 wide set, 12 plays there. Then we get into bunch wide. Do not confuse that with a wide formation. It's just bunch that happens to have that bunch 3 wide receiver set a little bit farther out. And then we get into bunch strong wide. Then we get wide bunch. Now that is a Veer and Shoot formation right there. Everybody and their brother stretched out. Then we get wide trips. This is another 10 personnel look. And then wide 5 wide receiver. So it's, again, it's like half and half. So I can quickly count. We got 1, 2, 3. We got what, 4. Then we have 5, 6, and 7. So we got about 7 total non-wide formations. The rest of it's Veer and Shoot. So think about, I don't know, 60-40 Veer and Shoot. So let's go through these. And what I normally like to do is I like to look for pre-snap motion. Those are nice little series to have. I'll just go ahead and tell you, if any of you have watched any of my Veer and Shoot videos up to this point, the Veer and Shoot is not super heavy when it comes to pre-snap motion. There's some in there, and I'm going to point out the real highlighted ones because I'm a Tennessee fan. I watch, Josh Heupel's offense the last 4 seasons. I pretty much know how he likes to do things. And so I'm going to compare some things when we go through these. But let's just start off with doubles Y, just a basic formation, nothing too crazy there. But we do have a little pre-snap motion. It's a basic jet sweep action. It's at the very bottom of the list. You got your touch pass, your fake off of that, and a verticals look on top of that right there. So if you ever want to go into some of your non-Veer and Shoot stuff, you could definitely do some of this stuff right here. Pretty cool. Again, if you just like the mix of the wide and the non-wide stuff. But you got a little pre-snap motion series there. You move on to double Z close. We got 1 jet sweep right there with touch pass. That's it from there. Then we get into our first Veer and Shoot formation, the wide doubles weak. And again, you're not going to see a ton of pre-snap motion here. Tight slots halfback weak. We don't have any there. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed, but a lot of the compressed sets in this game don't have a ton of pre-snap motion. Some do, some don't, but this one does not. Trips tight end offset. We don't have any there. Wide slot left. So anytime, and I'll go back, anytime you come across this formation where you have your tight end as like an H-back that's right behind the right guard and right tackle, or behind, on either side, you're going to get more pre-snap motion in these types of formations right there. These 4. This is the bulk of pre-snap motion you're going to get in the Veer and Shoot. And what they normally like to do is have, for example, like the tight end going out in an exit motion. As you see, like right here, we got an inside zone split, play action off of that. You got a read app option on top of that. You go to wide slot left weak. Here is some of that exit motion. exit PA fake screen. We got an RPO built off of that. And we got exit shot post if you want to go over the top. So I'm going to click this RPO and we'll go up against random nickel. That's fine. So we got a 2 high look. I see 6 guys in the box. I'll probably run this. Now, some people read this differently. Some people, if you notice, we got a hitch go on one side. We got your tight end going into block for the X receiver on the far left. It's up to you how you want to read this, but I just kind of look at the box. Now, we are losing a man blocker. We are losing the tight end. So what we're going to have here, it depends on who is defending that tight end. If he motions out and somebody goes out there with him, then you can run the ball up the middle. So let me just see what happens here. So somebody goes out there with him. So we got 5 in the box. So in this case, I'll probably just run it, but my offensive line just got destroyed right there. But I hope you get my point there. Either way, you're going to have plenty of this when you come across these slot left, slot right formations. So as you keep on going, do we have any more? I don't think we do. What about wide slot right? Do we have any here? Looks like we don't. And then wide, there we go. So we got halfback swing stuff coming out of this formation. Pretty good stuff here. You got an RPO, you got a basic wide cross and a deep choice, which is a common concept in the Veer and shoot. When we got more halfback swing on top of this, we got a double pass, we got a motion ZM, we even got a QB power, which I find pretty interesting. It's an RPO. So again, if you just need a little pre-snap motion in this offense, you're going to get the bulk of it through these formations right here. Let's go over the tight open. Do we have any here? Again, it's another compressed set. You're probably not going to find much motion in it. Then we got basic wide. You're going to spend a lot of your time in this formation if you go 4 wide receivers a lot. Wide offset, I don't see any here. Wide stack, normally the more spread out you get, the less pre-snap motion you're going to find in these formations. Bunch strong wide, I don't see any there. Wide bunch, this is probably like my favorite formation of all the bunch or all the Veer and shoot formations. It's just a very easy read. Like I'm going to call a basic RPO here. We'll go up against random dime. So as you see here, we have a screen on one side. It's got technically a one-on-one situation on the other. We don't have the numbers on the right side. Technically, it just depends on what that slot corner on the right's wanted to do. Like I could probably take a chance here and nobody blocked for me on that one. We can try that again. Let's see what we get. Going back here, there's really nothing up the middle. So I actually just may run the ball. Let's see if we can get a good gain here. That was a good decision right there. 2 high look. Either way, really cool stuff. You can really mess up a defense if you put players in the right position in terms of like blocking and such. So that is your wide bunch. Wide trips, I don't think we have any pre-snap motion here. And wide, 5 wide receiver. You can't get more spread to what you're doing here. So if you got good bunch of receivers, you could definitely do some damage with this one. I honestly like, your draws, I think work pretty well in this game. Like if I go, let me go up against like a cover 2 man, for example. So we got 4 guys in the box, 5 blockers. You'd think we have the numbers for a QB draw, so I could do something like this. Just comes down to my quarterback. He's not the fastest in the world, but again, it's all about numbers here when you're going through this. So we got 4 guys in the box, 5 blockers. It's an easy tail. Now this is not an RPO. It is a QB draw. But if you can get any type of gain out of this, then you're golden. That's the whole point of spreading the defense out so you can attack their weaknesses, especially in terms of numbers. So that's your 5 wide receivers. So again, the entire playbook is nothing but a shotgun. Pretty much majority of it is Veer and shoot wide formations with a mix of your traditional stuff, if that's what you're looking for. I like the mix. I don't have to go 4 wide go wide all the time. Like with Josh Heupel and Tennessee's offense, they don't go far out all the time. It's like, I don't know, 70% of the time you're going to see them use formations like this. And then sometimes they may mix in some other things, sort of like trips, tight end, offset. It just kind of depends on what they're trying to call and what they're trying to attack. All right, let's talk about personnel. Now, the bulk of this is going to be 11 personnel, as you see right here. But it's not all of it. You go to 23 personnel, that's your goal line. But we do have enough 4 wide. Your 10 personnel looks, you got wide stack is another nasty formation, wide bunch, and then wide trips. So you got 4 of them right there. More than enough, which is actually a pretty high number compared to most of the playbooks that I've seen. 32 personnel, that's your QB kneel, 21 your clock management, and you do got your true 5 wide look. So that's one positive. Another one to this playbook, it's got enough personnel variety, at least for me. Some people are happy being 11 personnel all day. I like to have a little bit of 10, and it kind of depends on the offense, of course, but you just never know. Your 5 best skill players may be wide receivers, and in that case, you want to go with your 10 personnel and even sprinkle in some of the 5 wide stuff. Let's talk about the concepts. I'm going to start at the very top. Always look for your play counts and kind of see what you got here. As you can tell, there's a lot more option runs than there are basic runs, and there's a ton more medium pass than there is deep pass, things of that nature. So let's start off with the runs. Pretty typical. Inside zone is going to be your most popular play run concept in this playbook, is like with most of them. So normally with the inside zone, I'm going to go up against, we'll back out. Yeah, we'll go up against random dime. Now, they got a bunch of dudes in the box. I'd probably audible out of this. But again, the whole point of it is just run up the middle, spread everybody out, and see if you can get decent numbers and a good gain on top of that. Ended up being a pretty good gain right there. Either way, inside zone, that's where it starts with you in terms of your run game. You go to ISO, you only got 1 there. You got 6 power, so if you want to mix in a little pulling guard or whatever, throw those in there along with counters. So if you're going to run power, you might as well run a little counter. Then we got 5 draws. We got 3 outside zones if you want to get outside the tackle box. And then we got a couple of sweeps. One of them is out of a wide formation. The other one is just out of goal line. All right, so the bulk of this is going to be RPO. This is what the offense is really known for, that and just throwing it deep. But let's start off with the RPOs. Out of the gate, we got RPO alert. We got 25 of these. That's a really, really high number, but it's actually a normal number for RPO or for Veer and Shoot standard. So, like, I'm going to go back to this RPO zone alert screen. We'll go do something like that. What I may try to do is I'm going to go onto the right hash. A lot of times when you run this type of offense, you're going to be on either hash a whole lot. But as you see here, we got 2 defenders against our 3 guys on the right side. I'll probably throw to the screen, and I hit the button super lightly on that one. That looked terrible. My hand came off, or my finger came off the button there. But anyway, I see a 2 high look. I see 3 guys defending on the right side. We're definitely not going to throw over on the left, so we'll probably just run this one and try to pick up whatever yards you can. And this is the Veer and Shoot in a nutshell, just reading numbers, reading the box, and going from there. So you're going to spend a lot of your time with RPOs. When you get successful with those, you just keep on going, no huddle, hurry up, things of that nature, and the bulk of your offense will start here. You go to inverted veer, we got 2 of those, if that's your thing, if you need to read a defensive tackle. Load option, these are your basic speeds. These are like my favorite option plays. Again, or the ones I'm pretty good with. You got 9 of them. That's a really high number. We got 21 read option. Plenty of it here. You got different sorts. You got lead option. You got that H-back or your tight end pulling for you. Things of that nature. But again, 21 of them. That's a bunch. You're going to spend a lot of time with this if your quarterback can handle it. We got a couple of shovel options. Those are your 9 speeds we just looked at. We got 4 triples, and what's funny is some of these come from the wide formations, which I don't think I've ever seen Josh Heupel do anything with this before. We've had some quarterbacks in the past that could run it some, but you actually have 4 triples, and one of them is a shovel. Actually, 2 of them are shovels. The other 2 are actually slot options, if that's your thing. We got 11 RPO reads. So on top of those alerts we just looked at, we got some reads built in here as well. We got some glances, some bubbles. I'm a big bubble guy. I'm going to go ahead and just select something. Yeah, we'll go against this right here. And let's see. I think I got the numbers on this side. We can go here and get easy yardage. That's like the easiest stuff in the world to do. I just read his defender. He crashed in, and I went to the bubble there. So a lot of good stuff there. Keep on going. We got 3 peaks. If you notice the peaks here, it's like a little slant with a flat on the same side. So the bulk of your time spent here will be on RPOs, alerts and reads especially. And then if you got the quarterback that can handle it, throw in that read option. There's so much of it in here. Throw in a little bit of speed option. And if you really want to get funky, do some triple as well. Quick pass. There's not a lot here, but it's going to start off with hitch. Hitch, like with any Veer and Shoot playbook, hitches are just a big deal in this offense. As you can tell, there's a lot of them in here. 6 of those. You got 3 Ohios if you like to go out combination. Then you got 1 scamp, 5 slants, and if you're going to have that many slants, you'll probably have that many sticks. So slant and stick tend to go together. Stick is your typical air raid quick pass concept. And again, 1 spacing. But you're going to spend the bulk of your time doing hitches. That's where I would start. If you want to really stick to the veer and shoot way of things, I would at least start with hitch with your quick pass. All right, medium pass, we got a bunch of stuff in here, but it's not, it's like a few different things that really take up the bulk of it. Starting off, we got 4 mesh. Yes, you actually got a little bit of mesh in this veer and shoot playbook, but if you notice, none of it is from the gun wide formations. It's all compressed sets. Double Z close. Tight slots, tight open. It's hard to do mesh out of the wide formations. That's why you don't ever see them do it. But if you need a little mesh, you got some. You got 4 Salems. You got 10 smashes. This is actually a ridiculously low number compared to what we've seen for some other playbooks. Most playbooks have 20 plus high-low reads, aka your smash stuff on either side. But it's super low here. And the reason why that is, if you go to one of these formations, like if you go to gun wide, what does that look like to you? You back out of here and you look, it's super hard to run smash in a formation like this. Smash is meant to really attack the outside, but if you notice, it's supposed to be like a flag route from a slot receiver or a corner route from the outside. Well, they're so close to the sidelines, you really can't run those routes. That is why you don't see smash used a lot in the veer and shoot offense. So go back to your concepts, you go back to medium pass, choice. So this is the other part of the offense that it's really known for. Anytime you're going to run any type of run and shoot offense, veer and shoot is a sister of that. You're going to do some deep choice type stuff. But anytime you see a choice route, it's going to be in here somewhere. Like here's a PA deep choice with a Z receiver. I'm going to go ahead and select that. We'll go up against like a random nickel. So as you see right here, we got a couple of hitches on one side. It's play action, but the whole play is really meant to read the right side. The other 2 on the left, those are lazy routes. You don't have to pay attention to them unless you just got the numbers over there. But it's basic play action, and you got to hope that receiver makes the right route. You just don't know where you're going to get with those choice routes, but either way, this is typical veer and shoot play action right here. This type of stuff right here. If you ever notice watching any of the veer and shoot teams play, the quarterback usually just sticks to one side when he's reading. They try to keep it simple for the quarterback. And that play right there is a perfect example of that. So you got 29 of these. If you're a choice right guy, this is definitely where you're going to start doing most of that work right there. And there's a lot of options with this. Really cool stuff in there. 20 curls. That's a high number, but it's actually a normal number for a veer and shoot playbook. What did we talk about earlier? Hitches and curls. That's what this offense likes to do on the outside, because again, those outside receivers are so hugged up to the sideline, they can really only do curls and ends and posts and such. And their short routes is, as you would expect, are a bunch of these hitches and curls. That's why you see so much of it in here. Double moves, you got 8 of those. You got 5 drives. Notice some of these, or actually the bulk of these, are from the non-veer and shoot formations, not the gun wide stuff. You got 6 levels. If you want the drive concept on steroids, especially like level sale at a gun trips, tight end offset, you got 3 little digs going in the same direction. You got 3 shallow. You got 1 slot cross. You got 9 spot. So spot is more or less a West Coast concept, but what is that little spot route? You notice here on the 2 plays on the right, the red route, that is a spot route. What does that look like to you? To me, it looks like a hitch. And what have we been talking about? Hitches and curls. That's just what the passing game is heavily focused on with this particular offense. That's why you see so many spot plays in this playbook. And you got a 1 Texas concept. All right, so a ton of medium pass, but the bulk of it, again, is going to be your choice, your curl, and throw in some of that spot. Deep pass. So this is like another portion of the offense. It's going deep and chucking it and trying to get touchdowns. And starting off, you got 3 comebacks, you got a dagger, you got 2 divides, you got a couple double post, 4 floods, and then we get to our first really big one. The vertical stuff. This is what people assume this offense is all about. It's just a portion of it, but chucking it deep, trying to attack those safeties and weak corners, things of that nature. You're going to spend a lot of time with some of these plays. You got a couple meals. You got 1 Portland shot plays. This is going to go well with those verticals, and we've looked at some of these already, but PA deep choice, it's just a curl. It's like a fade or a post or a go of some sort. You're just attacking deep in one way or another. And you got 8 switch, run and shoot. Switch is a common passing concept. So as you would imagine, you're going to have quite a bit of switch in this offense. So the gun white offset Willie's play, you see over there on the right, that is classic run and shoots. I'm gonna go up against, I don't know, let's see, do we got any, we do a cover one, that's fine. So we got a cover one play, but here, this is classic run and shoot. I'm gonna go here, let's see if I can get over the top. Can you make the play? Good defense right there. Either way, switch concept. The wheel and the post, but if you want to mix in some of your choice routes built into it, you got plenty of options here. We also got wide cross, and we actually have 5 of them. That's a really high number for a veer and shoot playbook, but if you think about it, it's really not, because what is wide cross? It is that slot receiver going across the middle because he's got nowhere else to go, because again, these wide receivers are hugging the sideline super close, so you want to attack the middle a little bit more, so that's why you have some of this. And notice most of these are from those gun wide formations. I'm gonna go, let's go ahead, and they're all play actions. I'm gonna go motion slot cross, and we'll go up against another man. So yeah, we'll go against cover 0. Hopefully I can get this play off. Either way, it's all about just attacking the middle of the field. We got a crosser here. I think he's double teamed. Yeah, I got him double teamed. I picked the wrong play for it. But either way, that's what the wide cross is for, attacking the middle, especially with that slot receiver. So the bulk of that is pretty much going to be your verticals, your shot plays, and I would mix in a little wide cross. Play action. Now, this is the funny thing. So veer and shoot is very play action heavy, but it says we only got 2 play actions, but we know better. It says we got a boot concept and we got a slide, but we're going to go over to the play types, so there's going to be a whole lot more there. Screen passes, kind of the same thing. We got 12 bubbles here. Again, we've already looked at some of these. A lot of these are the RPOs we looked at earlier. Flanker screen, 6 of these. So this is another portion of the offense, very screen heavy, splitting everybody out, trying to find numbers on the outside, things of that nature. And then we got a slip screen. But if you go over to your play type and you go to pass and you go over to screen pass, we got 19 total traditional screen plays. Add in all of those RPOs. We had what, 25 alerts, 13 reads. Then you throw these in. I mean, you got like 40 different screenplays in this game, in this playbook. A ridiculously high number. You have to make the screen game a big part of your offense. There's just so much of it in here. Then you got your play action. There are technically 37 total play action plays into this playbook, a really good healthy number for a veer and shoot playbook. But then you mix in those RPOs, which are in a sense kind of play actions, then you got even more on top of that. So those RPOs mixed in with these play actions, mixed in with these screen passes, and you got just a crazy way to attack defenses, and a fun way at that. Let's go to runs. We've already looked at these in some different ways, but you go over to inside handoff. As we know, the bulk of your run game is going to be between the tackles. Split everybody out wide, run between the tackles, attack open space. Outside handoff, you got 3 of those. You got a couple pitches, those 5 counters, those 5 draws we looked at. 1 fullback run, and you got a couple QB runs. One of them is the QB blast. The draw, I don't want to forget that. The QB draw, there it is right there. But that is in terms of your basic QB running. Your options, these are all those RPOs we looked at earlier. 36 total RPOs. Again, mix in all of these with all those screens, with all those play actions, and it's just a nightmare to defend if you know what you're doing. Speaking of, those are the, oh, my bad. These are the options. I'm so sorry. These are your basic options. We got your speeds, reads, leads, things of that nature. But when you go to your RPOs, we got 39 of these. Mix all these in with those screens and play actions, and I think you'll be golden. All right, that is it for the offense. It's basically veer and shoot with a little bit of traditional formations built in, like this formation right here. It's all shotgun, but if you're a veer and shoot guy, but you need a little bit of extra traditional shotgun stuff built into it, I think you're really going to enjoy the playbook. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.